Hello my friends, welcome back to another episode of Warriors Amongst Men, Spirit Amongst Flesh. My name is Sam and I help people live the life they came here to live as a spiritual being having a human experience. And today's video we're going to talk about 5 ways to recognize soulless beings. Now I know this may seem a little bit judgmental when you first read that sort of title, but this video is not about judging people. This is about encouraging you to do the inner work so that you can know this for yourself. The motivation for this video is to override your logical thinking. I want you to step out of your egoic mind or the conscious awareness, if you will, and go into the hidden assets within yourself, right? You might call it the subconscious or the Akashic records or your higher self. I want you to really have this inner feeling today. I want this to click with you, right? And I wanted to spread this information to you because true knowledge, as you know, puts your cells in formation, right? Information is supposed to put you in a form, right? When you're at school, you were wearing a uniform, right? Uniform means uni is one form. They try and get you in a certain form, right? They know this. Now we'll come to that later. The whole reason I'm making this video is to empower you, and knowing about soulless beings is one of the biggest secrets on this planet, in this dimension, in this matrix, and it's really empowering, and it can help you to realize that your game it's been about you this whole time, and everything is a reflection from within you. So whatever lessons you're going through, whoever are the people coming into your life, it's always only ever a reflection from something that's happening within you, lessons that you're supposed to be learning. And depending on your choices depends on your frequency plane. And when you're at the highest frequency plane, you're going to get so many downloads about your life. Things are going to start to click. You're going to have so many aha moments, right? You're going to get many epiphanies. So today I wanted to share with you something that I 100% believe to be true, right? I know this to be true. And all the knowledge I've come across is pointing in this direction. So today I wanted to give you 5 ways to recognize soulless beings. Now, what is a soulless being? Because there are other ways of talking about this, right? Otherwise known as organic portals. That's what many people are calling them. Basically describing how your body is a biological computer, right? So organic portal. A portal is something which information can come through, right? So the soulless beings on this planet are instruments, if you will, right? Computer devices, if you will, biological computers for other celestial beings, beings that operate beyond visible light, to channel you messages, right? And soulless beings, right? These beings that soulless beings can either act as massive distractions in your life, or they can act as, they can be helpful to us. They can either help or hinder you. They're either going to deplete you or they're going to empower you. But whether you get empowered by them or whether you get distracted by them and depleted comes down to your level of frequency, which I'm going to come to, as you can see on the board here. So the number one way to recognize soulless beings, for you to know what I'm talking about, is knowledge, right? This needs to make sense to you, otherwise you're just believing what I'm saying, and then you can comment things like, oh, this guy believes in soulless beings, so I don't trust him. It's like, no, I don't believe in soulless beings. This is something I know to be true because of the knowledge that I've received. If you start to research things like the Gnostic texts, right? The Gnostics, they believed that our body was created by the demiurge, and I've got a whole video on how this matrix that we are living in right now is a matrix within a matrix, right? And just like Elon Musk said, if you look at computer games right now, if you consider any rate of evolution at all, then eventually we will have computer games that are indistinguishable from reality. And the chances of us living in base reality right now is 1 in billions, basically saying that this is a simulation. But where is base reality? And I'm telling you that this is a simulation within a simulation. And we talk about New Earth and how we're moving into real Earth, New Earth. And that's a whole other subject which I'm going to be coming back to in future videos. So click that little subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss. So knowledge is going to change the way you see reality, because information is, the information we receive shapes our perceptions. This is why there's a whole control of information on this planet, because this planet was created by the demiurge, who is, through your body, is using you as an energy source to empower the matrix, if you will, the system. So it's up to us to change our focus and to start to use our creative energy, raise our frequencies, and put our creative energy into the world we want to create and stop feeding the matrix. So you need to know your enemy, if you will, right? You need to know what you're here to do, and that's what this is what my YouTube channel is all about. It's all about helping you to live the life you came into this dimension to live. So it's about knowing this game, and this isn't about judging people, guys, and who's soulless and who isn't. This is about knowing the game that we're in, the dimension. So I'm a truth seeker. If you can prove me wrong of any of this, please do, because I'm on a quest, right? I'm asking the questions and I want the answers. So this is where I'm at right now, and I'm sharing with you. And when you share, so shall you receive, okay? That's how this game works. But the matrix, the system, they want you consuming all the time, don't they? But it's about time we become producers of our own reality, the authors of our own story, the heroes of our own movie. And look at Dolores Cannon. She talks about how there are the backdrop people, right? And she describes it as the same way. So you're the star in your own movie, and that's what I want to share with you in this. That's the significance of this video. So how else can we recognize soulless beings? You know about the knowledge, so you know that how this is basically a simulation, and it's that you've now opened yourself up, that it's quite possible. Just like if you was to put a headset on and play a visual reality game, you would meet characters in that game that aren't source players like you. They haven't got a higher self. There's no one playing their character. They're just holographic within your game, and that's what we're talking about here. So you're either going to attract people into your life that are going to teach you things and take you to the next level, or you're going to attract people that are going to be draining you and helping you to feed the system, to keep the matrix running, stopping you from attracting and creating, manifesting new earth, right? The earth that you want to live in, becoming sovereign, right? Being able to be free, right? That's what we want. So number 2 is your frequency level. You're not going to be able to recognize truth, let alone soulless beings, if you are in a low frequency plane, right? And we spoke about in the last video how, there's frequency planes within the matrix, and it takes time. The choices you make will rise you up to the next frequency, and then you might get a little bit of a challenge, and if you fail, you're not ready for that one, so you go back down. But if you complete the challenge and you continue to not allow your flesh to be a distraction, and I've got a video on how to raise your frequency, and I talk about the 5 precepts. If you can follow the 5 precepts and really live with integrity, honesty, and in alignment with your higher self, with the highest frequency plane, then you will continue to move up the scale, and then you will be of a frequency level where you can see the truth, right? You don't have to believe anymore. now you know for yourself, and now you're at the level where you can be the content producer, right? You can be the author. So it's all about raising your frequency, and that is how you recognize soulless beings. Number 3, I guess you've all been waiting for this one, the glitch in the matrix. If you want to know how to glitch this matrix, you need to go somewhere that you've never been before, right? You can't keep going around in the same pattern every single day expecting a different result, expecting to learn truth. You need to switch it up. You need to break out of that mainframe, right? That systematic way of thinking, and go and do something different, right? I figured this out because I have moved around a lot, right? I've moved from different areas of the country. From down south, I lived in the Midlands, and now I live up north. Right, I've moved around the country and worked at several different barbershops, right? So in each area of the country, I have been speaking to thousands of different people. So you end up coming across people that, one, you start to see that there are clones within this matrix. There is only a certain amount of face templates, right? Body templates. So I'll meet the same person in a different area, but it's not the same person. They just look the same, their voice sounds the same, they're exactly the same, they have the same likes and wants and whatever. And then I'll move to another country and I'll see the same person again, right? You're seeing Sims within the matrix. Now, that's not to say that source players, right, can still act soulless. Source players can still act soulless. So this isn't about judging, all right, you're a soulless one and you're a source player, right, because you're into spirituality and you're not. That's not what it's about. If you're a source player, you can still act like a soulless one. So this is about recognizing the frequency plane, the frequency level of soullessness, if you will, the lower frequency plane. And because it doesn't really matter, because how you treat the people in your life, whether soulless or source players, is going to determine the results you get in your life. Soulless ones can either help you, give you money, they can help you with health and knowledge and awareness, or, you know, they can help heal you, or they're going to be taking and distracting you, making you do low vibrational habits, keeping you in your old ways of doing and being. So if you want to glitch the matrix, go somewhere you've never been before. Right, I've been traveling around the world and things, but right now, if I just got in my car and drove an hour away, somewhere I've never been before, walked into a shop, started speaking to people, you'll notice that it's like the matrix hasn't loaded yet. It's really funny. And sometimes they just completely glitch and don't. Like the other day, when we drove to this forest where we've never been before, just down this random lane. It was out of the blue, out of character, and I come across this guy, and I spoke to him. I said, "Do you know how to get to the woods up? You know, can I get to the forest up here?" And they said, and he literally just looked at me and just didn't know what to say. Just nothing came out, and he just sort of started pointing and stuff, and it was really a strange experience. And then we ended up just carrying on walking, but I found that really funny. And it was almost like we glitched the matrix. So there is a way of glitching the matrix. You've got to just act out of character, right? Ask people questions that, you know, they are not expecting, maybe about spirituality or something. But this is encouraging us to be ourselves in any moment, right? Letting go of judgment. It's not about, if you really think about it, if you just put a headset on and you started playing a game, a computer game, and there was Sims in that game, right, soulless ones, holographic beings, you wouldn't worry about what they're thinking of you, would you? You'd just do what you've got to do. But why is it we do in this world? It's because of our old programming, right? And it's because you don't know, right? You don't know the game you're playing. You're still in believing. You don't know because you haven't got the knowledge. Or maybe you do because you watch Warriors Amongst Men. So number 4 is the eyes, right? The eyes are the windows to the soul, right? I'm sure you've heard that before. And the eyes can tell you so many secrets about what's going on with people. And sometimes when you have a conversation with someone, if you're looking them directly in the eye, they're either going to make you feel loads better about yourself, or they're going to be, you can feel your energy being extracted from them. But again, it doesn't matter whether they're soulless or they're source players. Many times source players can still act soulless, right? So source players can still be vacant expressions and dead inside. They look dead inside. But you'll know they're a source player because you can tell they're thinking for themselves. They're not just, there's actually someone there. They're thinking about things. They're not just on a program responses. There's no programmed responses. But anyway, this one is kind of, you've got to be on a high frequency level to be able to tell things like this. And it also comes down to when you raise your frequency, start to eat more healthy foods, right? You're becoming more sensitive with what you're eating, and you're drinking more water, you're exercising your body, stretching and all this good stuff. You're starting to follow your passions. So maybe you're listening to more lighter music that's actually, because you can feel the vibrations of the music now, so you start listening to more 432 hertz. You're becoming more sensitive. Now you can just sense it, right? I know when I come across a source player, because you're not the only one out there. There's many source players. There's many people logged into the cosmic internet, right, into this game. So you're not the only one. But as you become more sensitive, you can feel it. It's not just about what you can see. You don't even have to look at someone. You can just tell, right? You can just tell. And they're much more open-minded source players. Well, if they've got out the lower frequency levels anyway. And number 5 is quite funny. And this isn't a guarantee, by the way, this one. But it is a funny one, because I have conversations with people obviously all the time. And this is something I ask them. I ask them, right? Just say something like, so, do you believe you have a soul? Do you believe in ghosts? And they'll say, no, I don't believe in ghosts. Or, yeah, I do believe in ghosts. And it's like, well, do you believe you have a soul then? They're like, no. So I'm like, so would you say that you're a soulless being then? And they'll say, no, what's that? Like, they won't agree to that, or sometimes they even do. But if you just ask them, 9 times out of 10, they'll say, no, I don't have a soul. They'll just tell you, but you don't think to ask, do you? It's quite awkward, isn't it? You're glitching the matrix because you're asking something that's out of the norm. So asking them is quite a funny test, right? You can ask and just see what they say. So most of the time, they'll just tell you if you just ask. But again, many source players, they'll believe that they have a soul. They'll have that sort of intuition with it. But most soulless beings, they will always, you think you're getting somewhere with them. You tell them all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm really into it. And then nothing actually changes. They stay on the same thought patterns. They don't actually want to change. And really, you could say that just comes down to whether you really want to change or not, because maybe if I had watched this video like 6-7 years ago, before I had my spiritual awakening, I just thought, who's this crazy bloke on YouTube? But once you really dive down the rabbit hole, come back and watch this in a year's time and see what message you get then, because your level of frequency will determine the messages you receive when you watch videos like this. Rewatch this video tomorrow and I guarantee you'll get a different message, because certain phrases, they stick out to us in our minds. But again, guys, the reason why I make this video is not so that you go around judging people. It's so that you can step into your own awareness, right? I want you to challenge me. I want you to question everything. Don't believe anything I'm saying. But I want you to realize that this world is nothing like what we've been told it is. So you always have to have an open mind. You always have to have an open mind. You always have to, you have to have this belief in yourself, and you have to, try this out for yourself. Let me know what you think, and, I look forward to hearing your questions, and I look forward to hearing your comments in the comment section. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace and love, my friends.